And speaking of military allies, Ukraine has just lost one, their neighbor and NATO member Poland. The breakup was brewing for a while now. It started when Poland banned the import of Ukrainian food grains. You see, Ukraine cannot export via sea. So they dumped their food grain in neighboring countries like Poland. But Poland said no more. Their farmers were losing out because of cheap Ukrainian grain. Kiev rejected this decision. They also filed a lawsuit at the World Trade Organization. Let me repeat that. A lawsuit against their own ally. Poland did not say very much about the legal action. But this week, President Zelensky went a step further. He crossed a red line during his speech at the United Nations General Assembly. Listen to this.
And it is alarming to see how some in Europe, some our friends in Europe, play out solidarity in political theater, making thriller from the grain. And they may seem to play their own role, but in fact, they are helping set the stage to a Moscow actor.
Big mistake there. Poland rejected Zelensky's statement. This is what their government said, and I'm quoting, "No one in the world has shown more generous help to Ukrainians than Poles. President Zelensky should remember this." In other words, show some gratitude. If the matter ended there, Ukraine would have been fine, but Poland was not done yet. Hours later, their prime minister announced a big decision. He said Poland would stop giving weapons to Ukraine.
We are not transferring any weapons to Ukraine because we are now aiming to defend ourselves with the most modern weapons. If you want to defend yourself, you have to have something to defend yourself with.
And this is massive. Poland has been one of Ukraine's biggest supporters. They have given military aid worth $3 billion. This includes 320 Soviet-era tanks, plus around 14 MiG fighter jets. But Poland says no more. Maybe other Western countries can plug this military gap. But the political gap? Highly unlikely. Poland is currently hosting 1.3 million Ukrainian refugees. They are lobbying for Ukraine's entry into NATO. Could this support also end? The signals are certainly not encouraging. Poland has spent around $16 billion to support refugees. $16 billion. They gave money for healthcare, education, housing. But the government says this aid will end in 2024, so no more financial support either. What explains this sudden U-turn by Poland? Well, Ukraine's lawsuit is just one reason. Another reason is Poland's domestic politics. Elections are due next month, and the ruling party is facing a lot of pressure. People are not so thrilled about hosting refugees anymore. Last year, around 91% of Poles supported welcoming Ukrainian refugees. And this year, it's fallen to 69%. So supporting Ukraine is not that popular anymore. Having said that, Kiev too must take the blame. They're still in this war because of their allies, because of the weapons they got. So what Zelensky did was a diplomatic blunder. First, he filed a lawsuit against Poland. Then he raised the issue at the United Nations. It's not surprising, though. Ukraine has made the same mistake with other countries, even India. Their foreign minister once said that India is buying Ukrainian blood. Why was that? Because New Delhi imported Russian oil. And recently, Zelensky's advisor also attacked India. He said India and China have quote-unquote weak intellectual potential. I guess he meant IQ. Kiev later rejected these comments. But you can see the broad trend. Now we get